Friday. Hope you guys are feeling great today. I'm excited about another fabulous Friday. Woo! I've had an amazing week. Hope you guys have had an amazing week as well. Been doing a lot of work for the Nikki Woods brand ambassador. For those of you who watched my video last week, for those of you who have not, and this is your first time hearing about it, I was selected as a brand ambassador for Nikki Woods Media, and Nikki is just a phenomenal, awesome woman. In addition to being an author and the senior producer for the Tom Joyner Morning Show, she is also owner of her own company where this is what she does. She helps individuals like branch out and expand their brands. So this is just an amazing opportunity for me, and it's requiring me to stretch in a lot of ways. And I feel like, no matter what the outcome is with this partnership that I have with her at the present moment, it's going to stretch me and help me, towards expanding my vision for my life. So that got me to thinking, you know, change is constant. We're always evolving and changing. And one of the side effects of our evolution in life is a change in our relationships. And it made me think about, how my dad used to always tell me, everybody who started with you ain't meant to finish with you. And I think in theory, we know that. We know that every relationship we forge in life is not going to be a forever relationship. I think we know that in theory. However, I think there seems to be a disconnect when it comes to putting that in practice. I can think of a lot of relationships in my life where not only did I have difficulty accepting that, okay, this person and I have gone as far as we can go. But once I finally accepted, yes, this is as far as we can go. So it's, time to end this relationship. Others around me started to give me, grief about it. Like, oh, how could you? Oh my gosh. And I'm not even talking about, we don't even have to talk specifically of romantic relationships because I'm not. I'm speaking of just relationships in general, all around. Some of you, I'm sure we've all experienced that childhood friend that we've known, since we were 4, 5, 7, 9, however long. And there came a point, maybe it was in high school, maybe it was in college, maybe it was post college, where you guys realized you were taking two different paths in life. And you start talking less frequently, you start seeing each other less frequently, and there's no anger. Like, I'm not talking about the relationships that blow up because of betrayal or something horrendous happens in it. I'm just talking about the natural progression of life. Someone comes along and they're like, hey man, how's so and so doing? And you go, you know what, I haven't really spoken to so and so in a couple of years. It's been a while. Oh man, why? Y'all was so close. I remember, man. Y'all, you like two peas in a pot. You need to get that back. You know what? You need to get that back. And then don't even get started on the people who throw God in it, because God is the healer and restorer of relationships, and God can bring that back together. And the reality is, maybe it wasn't meant to be, and that's okay. Like I said, I'm not speaking of, if there's a betrayal or anything. I'm not saying you need to be angry and upset and all of that, but just there's a natural progression to life. Things change. We're always in a constant state of birth, death, and rebirth. And that's in everything we do. A business relationship ends, and the general public, we will hear of a business relationship ending. Like, just saying this company severed ties now with this company, and we're like, oh man, they were, well, oh, and it's really not about that relationship anymore. It's all about you and how you feel about it, because maybe that partnership, you have a lot of memories tied to that. And so now that that has changed, you're looking at yourself like, oh my gosh, what does that mean for me? Because that's really all that happens. When one thing changes, it has a ripple effect and affects everything else in our life. So for us, if we change a relationship, that then changes things for other people. So now they have to get to know you as, this. Like I remember when my ex-husband and I were going through our divorce, and a friend of mine, she took it really, like, I think she took it worse than I did. And there was a point where she just would not let up, and she kept going on and on with me about how I needed to, work out my marriage and all this and that. And I had to finally say to her, I get it. You met me as Janice of Janice and this person. And now that's changing. I'm still Janice. It's just Janice and is different. And that was really hard for her to grasp. And I think that's really at the crux of it for others. Now, for us, I think it's difficult for us to accept because, again, it's that change factor. It's like, oh my gosh, if I'm changing this, then what does this mean? My dad, I remember years ago when his career had really reached a point where he was really, really growing and everything. And his manager at the time, she was not doing anything for him anymore. Like the only thing she was booking for him at that point was like pro bono work. And we're talking like right before Kings of Comedy was coming up. And so it was like, she no longer needs to be here. And he had such a difficult time with that because she'd been with him for so long. And I remember coming home from college and saying, hey man, like, I love her. I do. But she's not doing anything now. And she's still collecting 15%. But she hasn't done anything to get that 15%. And he looked at me and he said, I know. And I said, well, aren't you the one who's always told me everybody who starts with you ain't meant to finish with you? To which he looked at me and he was like, oh, now you're going to use my words back on me. And his response was, I know, but she's been there. And I understand. I do. I understand. But I had to counter with him like he told me, this is business. This ain't personal. But I'm going to add a caveat to that. Even if it's not business, even if we are talking personal relationships, be it, cousins, best friends, sometimes even, romantic relationships, which include marriage. If you have now reached a point in this relationship where you two can go no further, and the relationship must now come to an end, don't hold yourself back and the other person, because that's the thing that I think we also fail to realize too. We're not only just holding ourselves back, we're holding the other person back as well. We can't hold a relationship hostage based on the memories, based on loyalty. It's not fair to us and it's not fair to the other person. For me to hold you hostage to this relationship because I'm too afraid to let go, I'm not just blocking me from moving on and opening the gates to, if it's a romantic relationship, finding someone who's a better fit for my life. If it's a business partnership, getting you more profits with, another avenue, whatever the relationship is. I'm not just holding me hostage. I'm holding you hostage as well. And that's not fair. It's not fair to either one of us. And so I just think that it's time for us to stop philosophizing about relationships in life and actually get on with the business of living it. Life gets messy. It does. But there is beauty in the messy. There really is. And if we would stop heaping so much on our shoulders because of the messy and thinking that the world is going to end. Yes, in a way it will. The world as we know it will end. But there's also a world that we don't know that's waiting to begin. Just waiting, just ripe for the picking. And we just need to leap into it without the fear that this over here that we've known for so long was the thing that was sustaining us. Because sometimes this over here that we've known for so long is the thing that's holding us back. And that's even true in our relationships. Yeah, everybody that started with you ain't meant to finish with you. And that's okay. I'm okay, and you're okay. And our relationship ending is okay. And that's not to say you don't grieve as you may need to for the relationship, but don't be afraid to let something go that no longer serves you. Because, hey, it just bees that way sometimes. That's it. That's all. So as for right now, our relationship isn't over, but this video is. And I love you. I'm so happy that you joined me today. Join me next week. I'll have some blog posts, and as always on Fridays, I'll be here with another little video. Hope this spoke to you. If not, that's okay. Come back. You might find something else that speaks to you. Love you, love you, love you, love you, and have an awesome, awesome weekend.